What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Bulls Without Borders, Red Summit 6. And on this episode, we are joined by Chicago Bulls superfan. He's representing us from California. He's doing his thing. Bulls content creators appreciate this man because he supports like no other. Sammady, welcome to the podcast, man. We appreciate you being here.
I appreciate you both and I appreciate the time that you're giving me right now. And yes, I support as many Bulls content creators as I can. There are some that I had to block over recent years just because they got a little zesty. But first and foremost, I do support mainly everybody. I don't create content myself, but I like pushing out other people's content, other creators' content, and being like a Bulls aggregator, Bulls fan aggregator. And yes, I am a Bulls fan in California. It's pretty lonely here. Neill would know because he's lonely over in the UK, but it's all good. But thank you for having me on. Appreciate it, guys.
Of course. I know that Jamal. So I know Jamal from Bull Central is in California, but that's the only one that I know of that other than you that are out there. So you guys are two Lone Rangers out there, man. Really repping out there in the sea of Lakers fans. I appreciate you. But as always, I'm here with my partner in crime, Neill out of Ireland from C-Red UK. Appreciate you being here, brother. How you feeling? How was your holiday? Should have asked you that.
Good. Yeah, it's been good. Family time, I have 3 kids, so it still keeps Christmas special. It's been nice.
Awesome. And how's your holiday, Sammady? I apologize. That was rude of me not to ask you that.
No, it's all good. I have theories that I'm still in a food coma. I'm not sure yet, but I've been full since Wednesday. The amount of eating my family does is not normal, and I realized it when I started bringing other people in. But it's all good. It's been fun. Good to see everybody. How was yours?
It was good. I thank you for asking. It was solid. It was relaxing, and Matt. I had to bring this up after you were mentioning your family with food and everything. So, it was solid, man. I can't complain. And the Bulls got a victory yesterday, so that was good for them to follow up on their 4-game win streak by winning another. So, we'll start with you, Sammady. Before we go into our topics for the day, though, I do want to ask, man, as a Bulls fan out there in California, I'd love to know, like, what brought you to the Chicago Bulls? Like, tell me about the beginning of your fandom.
For some folks, being a Bulls fan, you're just born into it. And funny enough, I was born into it. So when my father first moved to America, he got placed in a city called Long Beach, California. It's about 45 minutes away from LA. He used to play semi-pro soccer or football for my Europeans in Cambodia. And he was looking for a game that was like fast and quick. He stumbled upon basketball, and the year he finally got like TV and like an antenna for all those youngins. If you don't know what antenna is, we all had to take turns adjusting the antenna. So yeah, we had to rock, paper, scissors for that. It just turned out Michael Jordan got drafted that year, and we had an uncle that worked for the cable company, and we were able to get channels from Chicago to the house.
Nice.
So from then on, it was all Michael Jordan Bulls fandom. From there, I do have a gap in my Bulls fandom history. Once Jordan left, cable company got word, uncle got let go from the company, and we lost a lot of the channels up until around the baby Bulls, and then we had a different family friend that got us the channels back. I'm not encouraging anything illegal, but if you have the hookups, you just take them, right? So,
hey, man,
right.
Hustler's mentality, my friend. I mean, it's a dog-eat-dog world out there. I ain't trying to pay for all those channels.
This is a true story. This is a true story. So yeah, so my fandom of Bulls, my Bulls fandom has spanned about, I guess, 2 different eras. I skipped over. I call it the dark ages. I guess I think I thought about going back to it, and then I didn't want to be depressed and sad and cry by myself, or my wife wondering why I'm crying by myself. So, so I just skipped right on to the baby Bulls, and been keeping up with it ever since. And then also the basketball scene in Southern California is pretty wild. It's a very fast pace. It's very all over the place. And I have some stories. I don't know if I'll disclose it here, but we can later on, once we get through Bulls topics and stuff. So, yep.
Cool.
There it is.
I love that. So, dude, it sounds like you're right in line with. How old are you, Sammady?
35, bro.
Oh,
35.
dude. Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
So that makes so much sense. So I might ostracize myself a little bit here, but real quick, like I vibed with what your story was because I was 8 when Jordan hit the shot, and then then I took a break from Bulls fandom.
I'm surrounded by children.
We'll get off your lawn right now. Don't worry.
Yeah. I took a break from Bulls fandom too, because also as a kid, I didn't have that. Like, my dad was like, we're Chicago fans. I'm like, yeah, but they suck, Dad. Like, they're bad. and I didn't want to watch it. So I actually was a Shaq and Kobe guy. Funny enough, you're out there in the Lakers fandom. That was my team for a little bit. And then, like, the baby Bulls happened. Kirk Heinrich, Ben Gordon, that squad. And I was like, okay, I'm back. And then by then I was feeling the loyalty too, it's really cool to hearing your story. It's just like, man, it's like hearing my own. So that's great.
To be fair, my father made sure I watched the first three-peat and the gap years on VHS. So he recorded all the big playoff games, Eastern Conference Finals and the finals for all those years. And he somehow got all like those NBA Finals movies that they always have towards the end of the playoffs. He has all of them. So, we only have one TV. There was nothing to watch. So he's like, watch this right now. Sit down. And of course, we feared our father, me and my brother. So we sat there. I'm holding like my little brother who's like just a baby. And we're just like sitting there watching all of that. Don't get my dad started about Horace Grant versus Dennis Rodman. It will go on for like an hour and a half to 2 hours. That's a very hot topic. With my father. Yeah. I'm sure that's another hot topic with Impulse. You could probably do that might be another segment. That could be another segment.
Yeah. I mean, sounds like we should bring your dad on at some point too, man. He can come on with you and the next time. And sounds like he's got a lot to say.
Which side of the fence does he fall on with that, Sammady?
Oh man. So he loves the heart, the hustle for Rodman, but he picks Grant as the better player, as like a full all-around player, like a more like two-way player, right? So, but he's on the fence with it because he's seen both how it looks on both sides, and he's seen. Well, he's slowly moved over to Horace Grant a little bit, mainly because he's finally let go of what Horace Grant did with the Magic and the Lakers. And I'm like, hey, Dad, look, Grant's on the Lakers. He's like, I don't know that guy. He's dead to me. I was like, yo, man. Me and my brothers and my cousins were like, bro, he's Horace Grant. He's like, he's Harvey Grant to me now. I was like, whoa, easy there, sir. Whoa. That's Harvey Grant. I was like, easy, sir. But yeah, no, it's a fun topic. It's a fun topic. And LA basketball is a fun topic with my dad too. So yeah.
I'm sure. That's awesome, man. I love it. So we'll launch right into our topics, man. And Sammy, as the guest of honor, I would like to start with you, man. So what topic did you have for us to talk about today?
So my topic, I was all over the place. Phil, we've been chatting back and forth on what I should discuss.
Bust you out, brother.
Yeah, no, I'll call myself out. I'm a very secure old man now. Just kidding, Neill. But no, with the state of the Bulls, and maybe because we just watched the game last night, it relates to, I guess, our two cornerstone pieces. So Matas Buzelis and Josh Giddey, and what are 1 to maybe 2-3 different topics or things that they can improve upon in order to elevate the team. Mainly because, like I said, they're the youngest. They're under 23. Can't count Noah Senge because Noah Senge is on the shelf right now. Hopefully he recovers quickly. But after watching the game last night, I feel like my views have changed a little bit on like what they could improve on. But let's discuss that topic, and I'll pass it off to Neill because in my culture we always respect those who are in senior years.
Oh my God.
So,
Neill's catching it today, man.
yeah, but Neill, if we ever meet, I will always pour you the drink first because that's
Thank
proper.
you.
That's proper manners in my family. You don't want to be
Thank you.
that one member, you know.
I appreciate the courtesy. Thank you very much. Yeah, and calling me out for being an old man. I love that too. Yeah, thanks.
You don't look a day over 30.
Okay. I don't look a day over 30. I tell you, I feel a day over 60.
Okay,
But anyway.
Preach.
Okay, so I'm going to have to ask you to repeat the question, though, because my son was just shouting at me and I kind of phased out for a second. So say the question to me again, Sammady, and I'll give you my answer.
No, it's all good. What are some improvements our cornerstone pieces, Matas Buzelis, Josh Giddey, can improve upon to elevate the team? So probably one to three different traits that you think can help.
Yeah, no, okay, that's good. Okay, with Matas Buzelis, I think that he knows himself. He's made a point of stipulating that defense is something that he was trying to focus on this year. I'm not so certain he's managed to lock that down yet. Yes, he's good at getting blocks. He's certainly, getting a lot of blocks in comparison to some of his teammates. But I do think that all round defensively, he is that.
He's adorable.
Sorry.
He's adorable. It's okay.
It's okay. Right. I'll have to go in a minute as well. Yeah, no. He has Bulls hats. He has Bulls clothes. Don't worry. I look after that side of things. So I just think that he needs to strengthen himself a little bit. He's getting beaten off pick and rolls quite a bit and screens. He's not getting around them. He doesn't have the physicality for that just yet. And I just think sometimes his read of positioning is still off defensively. But once he locks that down, I think that could be the biggest factor to unlocking Matas Buzelis. And as for Giddey, turnovers. It's got to be the turnovers. I mean, he has really elevated his game from distance. You see it when teams are forgetting to respect the fact that he can shoot the three ball now. And he just splash, every time. Well, not every time, but he's shooting a 45% clip, I think, something like that. Yes, it's mid 40s anyway. So he's going to have to keep shooting like that. And defenders will begin to have to play more honest against him because at the moment, if he's left open, he's hitting them. So that side of his game has already been elevated. So for me, the area I'd like to see him focus on is just tightening up those passes. Sometimes he tries the fancy pass when it isn't not necessarily the right play in that moment, and he tends to lose the ball. And also he can be stripped in the mid section of the court. I find he tends to dribble a little higher and a little looser. He locks it down when he kind of gets more inside, but I feel that's where they can pick the ball off him, and that's something he needs to focus on, clamp down on.
Phil, to you, the same question.
So it's going to be hard to pick anything other than turnovers for Giddey, just because he's been really bad. I think he had I know he had 4 in the first quarter yesterday. I think at some point we had 12. I don't know what he ended up with. Actually, it's probably something I should have looked at. Or I got it right here. He ended up with 6. So I guess he cut it down the rest of the game because at first he started bad, and I was just like, dude, what is going on? I would really like to see him clean that up. Another thing, to add to it, I would like to see him develop at his size a little bit of a post game. I think that if he could develop a bit of a post game for his size, because he's stronger than the other guards he plays. It's funny. I seen him tie up. I think it was someone yesterday. He tied up somebody. I think it was McCain, and he kind of just laughed because McCain wasn't doing anything with it. He just had it. He was just holding it. He just kind of laughed. He patted him on the back of the head. I'm like, dude, you just little broed him. But otherwise with Matas, I really think that his handle has been a little bit sloppy lately. I feel like his he especially when it gets late in games when that defense really tightens up, he seems to have a little bit of trouble. Hey man, you gotta have a little more urgency with that ball. Kind of tighten that up. Really get that together, and then more just I'd like to see him take over more because he's got that one move, and Tim Sinclair brought it up on the podcast we had with him last week, but like that move where he kind of goes over the top with the ball and lays it up, like he could probably do that much more often than he knows. Like he's bigger, faster than most of the guys. Well, not bigger, but faster than most of the guys he plays. More explosive for sure. And so I would really like to see him tighten that up. Like I'd like to see him like polish that part of his game off. And because I really want to see him take over down the stretch more often. Like I feel like it's nice to have that we have Kobe, but we really need another, a Bravo option. And Giddey, for everything good he does, I don't know if he'll ever be like, a closer. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he's already proven people wrong. Maybe he'll prove. I'd love for him to prove me wrong on that. But I just think Matas has the natural gifts for it. So I would like him to to learn how to, I guess, take over games more often, go to his bag, and I guess that goes hand in hand with the handles, and be the closer for this team if he can be.
No, all fair points. I agree with all the fair points that both of you presented. I mean, honestly, there's not much else for me to say because you probably both have taken things I wanted to say too already.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. No, it's all good. I mean, like it was pretty obvious last night that like Matas, his handle was just so loose, like Paul George was getting under him and kind of like really getting in his face. And then him, I don't know what it is. I think the problem I feel like with Matas right now is he's not strong enough to take the 4 assignments like full time, but he's having problem, like Neill was saying, chasing those quicker guys, like the smaller 2s and 3s around the screens and getting low enough to keep up with them. So maybe it's classic tweener positional size and play, but definitely like Neill was saying, and even you, Phil, like the defensive leap is what probably will take Matas to the next level. Like if he can get low and keep up with some of these guys, it would make a difference. Like I think I retweeted something from J Talk Hoops. He used to be the Bloody Horns podcast. Shout out to Justin. That Matas has all the same tools as say like an AK-47 under Kirilenko, the weak side, rim protection and whatnot. But AK-47 was digging into guys, but like really getting into like the defense, really trying to attack the shout out to the son.
Hi Joshua.
Hi. How's it going?
This is my Josh. Say hi.
Hi.
Hi Josh. How's it going, man? You're on the stream.
Right. Before you go, say go Bulls.
Go Bulls.
Man.
Yes, sir. There you go.
Yeah, it's cool.
I love it.
Sorry.
I know.
No, it's all good.
That was money.
Go Bulls. There you go. We love the kids here at Borderless Bulls. We love the kids.
Yes. We are a pro kids podcast, man.
Kids podcast. There you go. But yeah, I mean, like but yeah, you just saw some of the struggles, like, and then you see a guy like Ayo. I mean, Ayo's different cut from Heise. Auntie Sherry, hi. Ayo's a different cut from Matas, but man, Ayo was giving Paul George the fits when that was the assignment. Like Paul George couldn't get through. He could, like, I would hope Matas one day can pick up some stuff from Ayo on the defensive end and add it to his game. Giddey, same thing, turnovers. That's the tough part. Like if he wiped that out, it'd make life so much better. But shout out to you, Rob.
Yeah, I'm with you on all of that, Sammady. I know that God, I had a thought there, but no, I'm sorry. As Matas grows up, I think that he'll be able to dig in a little bit more. As he gets stronger. I mean, strength training is obviously a part of it, but I love that you said if he can learn some traits from Ayo, because I think Ayo, obviously everyone knows Ayo and Matas are like best friends, and so I think that you could probably expect them to, train a lot together. And so that'd be awesome if you could pick up some traits from him.
Oh, for sure.
All right. So Neill, what do you got for us today, my friend?
Okay. So what I decided to talk about today is that Billy Donovan has gone against the usual Billy Donovan traits and has started playing the double big lineup every now and then. And it seems to be a working factor in some of the more recent games too. I mean, it certainly was an impact last night. So my question to you is, do you think that this is a good move going forward? And do you think by cutting into some of Vooch's minutes in order to do this, which Vooch has already agreed to this anyway, as we know, it's come out previously that he has said to Billy, look, I'm good with it. And that keeps him fresher feet. There we go. Get there in the end. And keeps him more involved for the fourth quarter when Vooch tends to kind of be a little bit more interested. So I'll take it to our guest speaker first. Sammady, do you like the double big lineup? Do you think it is proven to be successful? And do you think it is a positive or negative impact on Vooch's play?
I think it's positive for everybody because one thing, so we'll start with Vooch. I realized the longer you play Vooch, the more it's just disgusting to watch because he has to be so engaged. He has to be so engaged. He has to be, feel the rhythm of the plays. And you're like, okay. And it's obvious he doesn't want to be there. So I feel like the more minutes he plays, it devalues who he is as a player, right? You giving him the short spurts of the double big lineup, right? I feel like he has a sense of security that he didn't have before, right? You don't have a Zach Collins and Jalen Smith, working the low block with him for defense, right? He feels like he could be a little bit more aggressive, or he feels like he can take a little break, so which means he can exert more force. Playing as like a pseudo 6-man-ish type of role, right? Maybe he cuts his minutes down, but he can play in shorter bursts. And also it's just like, it's fun when Jalen Smith and Zach Collins are also playing the 4. It helps everybody else out. Lose Matas down. I feel like any of the players who's running the 1, 2, and 3 could feel like they could take more risks, right? Versus having traditionally what we had, P. Will, Javonte, shout out to Javonte, Derek Jones Jr., even Matas Buzelis, right? Like, yeah, fuck this. I feel that the players could take more risks and like attacking, being at point of attack, going on defense, knowing that there's 2, bigs behind them that can grab the rebounds or go for the blocks. Like if Vooch was to come up at the screen, he's okay with it with Zach and Jalen behind him, knowing they're going to have the rim covered, right? Maybe eventually Matas can be in those roles. But like we mentioned earlier, he still doesn't have the frame to handle that kind of assignment. He's still getting bullied down there. So it also helps with the Matas and even Giddey development. Giddey's like, oh, cool. I got 2 guys behind me flanking on defense. There's a lob and there's a jump shot waiting to happen. And Matas feels like he can take more risks as well, too. He could play a bit more free. He could be the bigger guy against the 3s and the 2s and even the 1s. So all I see is positivity from it. And seeing Billy make adjustments is like a Christmas miracle at this point. It's like, man, who is this guy? Like, you know this guy? Like, is this still the same guy? What happened? He got that Hall of Fame jacket and he started acting up a little different. I don't know, but I only see upside in all of it. Maybe the only downside is there's a $90 million player that's riding the bench, keeping it warm for everybody. But I had a feeling that player just is going to have to be there because the results are there. You're doing more with this double big lineup.
We're getting there. That's actually my top. He's part of my topic, actually.
But passing it on to Phil.
So,
yeah.
As far as Billy and the double big lineups, I love it, honestly. Like, I really feel like it brings something to the team. I think all of the points you made, Sammady, are great. It's actually, I thought you covered that extremely well. I really thought that, I think it really helps Vooch because the guy, honestly, like, he can't rebound. He can't rebound like he did last year anymore. Like, he was a double machine last year, and he's still getting doubles once in a while. But like, he's having a really hard time getting lift, or like I don't know if maybe it's interest, like you said, he doesn't want to be there. He's not boxing out correctly. The offensive rebounding when for the other team, when Vooch is the only big in the lineup, is god awful. I mean, and it sucks. It sucks because when Vooch is locked in, he could be so helpful. But I know that he can give a lot on defense, but what he could do offensively when he's locked in is special. There's not that many. I've said it on this show. There's not many big guys in the history of the NBA that have the post bag that he does, but also and the ability to play make out of the post, and then also shoot the three at the clip that he does. So all of those things are helpful, but his rebounding is really hurting the team this year. Like I think it's very apparent. I mean, I think Josh Giddey rebounds him. I think that he's actually a leading rebounder on the team. It's close. I think Giddey's like 9.2 and he's 9.1. And that's crazy because, yes, Giddey's the best rebounding guard in the league. And so there's a little bit of a caveat there. But, Vucevic is really hurting the team in terms of just he doesn't – when the other team has a legitimate big man at center, it's not Jarrett Allen, which he seems to have a lot of success against. But when it's like, Joel Embiid last night was what killed us, man. Killed us. And it killed me inside because he looked – I don't know who's slower. I think there's a question here. We'll all answer that question later. Rob actually threw it in the chat. But
who's slower? That's a crazy –
Yeah. I don't mean for this to be a Vooch like diss. This wasn't even meant to be a Vooch diss like question, but but I do think that I just think that we really need to help him out with another big in the lineup. And I think you're seeing the success of what happens when we have Jalen Smith or Zach Collins in there. All of a sudden, we're rebounding the ball. And if you have a lineup in there with Matas, Giddey, if Matas is at the 3 and Giddey's still in, your lineup is huge, man. Like all of a sudden, you're enormous. And I think that could help shore up the rebounding woes that we've had. And I'm going to double down on what Sammady said. I can't believe that Billy Donovan is making this adjustment at this point in his Bulls tenure. It's nuts. I don't know where it was earlier, but I guess he really hated the bigs that we used to have that much. But I don't know. I know we've always had guard heavy lineups, but yeah, I think that there's a lot to be said for the 10-man lineup that we had last night and what happens when we go double big. What do you think, Neill?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, a lot of what you've said I agree with. And just to kind of take it a little bit further again, by resting Vooch, I think when he gets those rests as opposed to comes in at the start of a game, when he comes back on the floor, you tend to get quite a few solid minutes out of him until he gets tired again. Like he's getting blocks lately, which is, normally you'd see Vooch get a block and you'd be like, oh, wow, Vooch got a block. Now it's getting to the point where, oh, wow, Vooch got 2 blocks or Vooch got a block last night as well, and so he seems to be having that little bit more pep in his step, I guess. We've seen him make a couple of runs and dunks, which, for somebody who can't jump over a phone book, is quite impressive. So I'm quite impressed with what is kind of unlocked in Vooch by giving him this opportunity to sit down, watch it from a different perspective, and come back, because he has a good IQ. The guy does have a good basketball IQ, right? So he's sitting from a bench, taking it in, as opposed to being on the floor taking it in. And I think it's kind of giving him those opportunities to kind of maybe see where he can be more effective when he comes back on the floor. The problem is, of course, the other team does start to adjust and Vooch loses his way again. But that's on Billy to start kind of breaking down his minutes, which he seems to be doing right now. And I think it's quite effective. As for what you were saying about Billy making adjustments at this stage, I think it's fantastic that he has been reflective of his own coaching style and decided that instead of only playing 7 to 8 players, he's now going 10, 11 players deep. He wants to play at pace. He's realized that the best way to do this is to have fresh legs. And in order to get fresh legs, the best way to do that is rotations. Billy has always been criticized for his rotations, particularly by me, but by Bulls Nations across the board. But this season, they're much better. His rotations are definitely improved, and we're seeing the benefit of that more and more, and hopefully that means he'll start to do it more and more. Now, I don't know what he had against Jalen Smith last season, or Andre Drummond when Drummond was here. Like, we used to joke on C-Red UK that he'd run over his cat or something because he wouldn't play him. But this season, he seems to be okay with Jalen Smith, and Smith's having an absolutely fantastic career year for us, I think. Bulls career year, anyway.
100%, man. 100%. And so, you know, for my question, since we just finished talking about Billy, we'll double down on that. And, you know, the last game, there was a DNP next to a certain player's name that everybody loves in Chicago. He's a real fan favorite.
He is, yeah.
Yeah, we all love him. His name is Patrick Williams. And so with that being said, also, Dalen Terry and Julian Phillips have also caught DNPs every game since we've been healthy. So I want to know, I guess, just overall thoughts on what you think about that. And you could choose to take on any of those players or just overall thoughts. Sammady, I'll start with you.
I have a hot take on those particular three being DNPs. It might be, call me out. I don't know. I'm just being weird today because, you know, I actually got like 10 hours of sleep and your boy is feeling hella refreshed. But it might be Billy taking a stab at the front office. Like, I don't trust your wings. I don't trust your picks. Like, I don't trust these guys. Because playing time equals what? Trust, consistency, and a willing to show something different than just running around jogging for cardio, right? Shout out to Tony Snell. But he has zeros. My dad's like, how does he do that? That's actually hard.
Yeah.
But it just shows that I honestly, because if I was Billy, right, I have to be the front facing of all these tough questions, all these rotations, stuff about draft picks. And at a certain point, any person would just start maybe being, you can't be directly pointing the finger. You can't be passive aggressive, right? Like, oh, look, your number 4 pick, he's sitting there. You paid him? Not my problem. I'm here to win games. Oh, you traded 2 second-round picks for this guy? Oh, he showed potential, but no, he's sitting. You know, all this guard that you picked, but Walker Kessler is right there. I'm not gonna let that go ever. He's sitting down. You know, he's sitting down. Like, and it just shows that these projects that AK are picking are just not ready. They're not developing the way they should be developing. I don't know if that's a staff issue, that's a personnel issue. It's just, I also may think that Jalen Smith is also having a renaissance too. Like, I didn't realize Jalen Smith can dribble and be that mobile in general. Like, I thought he was just a center, but I'm like, oh, dude could move his feet and dribble and take the ball and slam on Embiid. And like, you're not seeing that from that versatility and skill set from the other three. So, but I also think it could be a personal dig at the front office from Billy, having to be the front all the time. But passing it over to Neill.
Yeah, it's interesting actually. If it is, I like it. I think it's a good thing. Whether or not AK, who likes to think he's the smartest person in any room, I think, but whether he actually is or not, and is able to pick up on that, I don't know. But yeah, I think it's more a case of trust, like you were saying at the start there. I think it is definitely more a case of trust. And if a team is winning and winning without them, I don't think Billy is prepared to take a risk on putting guys in there who aren't necessarily consistent in their play. And I think that's the biggest issue in regards to P. Will, Dalen Terry, and Julian Phillips. I think, so I've always loved Dalen Terry as a person and as an energy guy, but he just hasn't developed his game enough to the point where it's questionable whether or not he'll ever be more than just a low impact role guy who brings in a bit of energy. But I love the fact that he will always give it 100%. Might not always be effective, but he'll always give it 100%. And I appreciate that in any player. I think someone that is prepared to go and give it their all, good things will happen for them eventually. Julian Phillips seems to go through these waves of where he plays really well, he's very effective. We know he's incredibly athletic, he's incredibly fast, but sometimes he has these games where you'd forget he's on the floor. And P. Will, who I tried to root for so much for so long, I just had to, I just had to accept the fact that he just isn't that guy. And it's not that I wanted him to be a number 4 pick. I just wanted him to develop into a guy that was able to make an impact on the floor when he's on there, because he has the physical presence to do that. But whatever it is that goes on in that guy's head, he is his own worst enemy, and he puts up roadblocks in front of himself all the goddamn time. And I do not understand a guy who can touch his thumb and forefinger around a basketball because his hands are like shovels, can manage to fumble the ball and miss dunks as consistently as he does.
Yeah, man, I think those are all great points. First of all, I just want to give another, I want to give credit to Billy Donovan for making that change, for the fact that Patrick Williams, again, Sammady made a great point, and I never thought about that aspect. And, I seen a comment in here from Rob. I know that he says, the front office works with Billy, though, to build a roster. They've said it over and over. Why would they not give Billy what he wants if he's their coach? Well, I mean, because I feel like the front office kind of that's all well and good, but there's a lot of times I feel that there's a lot of things that happen behind closed doors, especially with the Bulls, that I don't think that they're telling us. Like, they're going to present a united front. They're always going to do that. But Billy has also said stuff like, he's also made like side comments about like how many guards were on the roster last year, or like, different things that I feel. I think Billy Donovan might give his opinion, but I don't know if AK's always going with that. So, and they could say something in the press and do something else completely different could be going on behind the scenes. I don't know, so who knows? It's kind of a guessing game. All I know is that, I can't imagine that it was AK's vision for 3 of the guys that, his projects that were supposed to be, at this point, definitely Dalen Terry was supposed to be more of a contributor. It's a bummer because I got excited in the offseason because people were going to KC Johnson, and we're telling him, Dalen Terry got way better in the offseason. I was like, multiple people apparently sold him that. And then we watched him, and it just looks like the same Dalen Terry. I mean, his handle looks better. I'll give him that. But he still can't shoot worth a lick, man. And he seems like a great kid. I love that he's on the roster for no other reason. He's a great locker room presence. It does matter at the end of the bench, especially. But you'd like to see him contribute. I'll go with Patrick Williams next. Like, I thought he started the season really well. I thought he was playing. I think even this season, I think he's been more decisive. Yeah,
he has.
But he has. He's still not making enough of a difference. I can't say that he's worth playing over the 10 guys that are playing in front of him. And if it's Billy's decision to shorten the roster up or shorten the rotation up to 10 guys, he picked the right 10 guys. So I would much rather play Jalen Smith over Patrick Williams at this point. I mean, like you said, Sammady, he's not. Patrick Williams would have missed that dunk over Joel Embiid last night, 100%. It would have flown off the rim to half court. Jalen Smith has been consistent and great this season. He's not just, being decisive. He's producing, and that's the difference. So I'm going to go to the third to Julian Phillips because he actually is the biggest disappointment for me this season because I thought he might be primed to take a leap because I thought he really flashed last year. And when he's like Neill said, when he's like on his game, all of a sudden, he's got like 18 points. He was playing great defense all night, and he's got like 7 rebounds. You're like, holy shit, man. Where's this been? Like, that was great. but it's inconsistent. And right now, the Bulls are playing the 10 most consistent guys on the roster. I think what you can say for all three guys on the bench is that is the most their most consistent thing is their inconsistency. And so, I want to see them succeed. It's a bummer. Patrick Williams less so more than the other two because he's gotten paid. I don't feel bad for him anymore. But Dalen Terry and Julian Phillips, I hope that at some point they can figure it out. But Dalen Terry's probably gone after this season. I would imagine he's gone after this season because I think he's a free agent. And Julian Phillips, I mean, they got to make a decision on him, right? So we'll see what happens. But I'm glad that Billy has decided to make these decisions. I have more faith in Billy after these first, I don't know, we're at close to 30 games. I have more faith in Billy after these 30 games than I ever have at any point in his Bulls tenure. And for whatever that's worth, I'm not saying he's a championship coach. I'm just saying that he's making some good decisions, and I love his rotations are better. And shout out to Billy Donovan for improvement this late in his career, because a lot of old dogs don't learn new tricks. So that's all we got for topics. So let me see if we got any questions here. I got the Rob's. I don't think Rob has a lot of questions in here. But I love the conversation, Rob. I appreciate you.
Always.
We gotta go with this first and foremost. Vooch defense worse than Embiid. Sorry, it wasn't speed. This is defense worse than Embiid. Sammady, what do you think?
Is a turtle slower than a slug?
Great question.
Because you could tell and he's like, dude, what are you doing? Just redshirt the season or something. Because you could see him balling every other play. We know Vooch is just not. Vooch is just not okay. He is an athlete. If we had to compare athletics, I'm sure he's a better athlete than me. But he's just we know he's slow. Embiid is just half man, half broken. I don't know. So Rob, that's a good one. I feel like this is more of a philosophy question or a rhetorical, or just this could be a thesis statement for something later down the line. We just know the Vooch is just not there. But then, I mean, did Embiid ever win defense, DPOY, or first team, second team defense? No? Okay.
Well, okay, as far as first team or second team, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a good question. Yeah, so in 2017-18, he was named the second team 3 times as well. So,
man, what a fall off,
yeah. Well, his fall has been dramatic.
Oh, big time. Yeah. I mean, I guess the way I look at it is you've got one player who can't jump and one player who can't walk. So which is worse? I'd say looking at it in that way, I'd kind of put Vooch slightly ahead of Embiid. Plus, full well in the next year, 2 years max, Embiid is done. I mean, he already looks wasted. There were a couple of times when he flopped last night, and he rolled around for a second, hugging his knee, and you're like, dude, have you busted it again or have you not? And full well he's one fake flop away from a real injury all the time. And I think if his knees go one more time, or one knee goes one more time, I think he's pretty much done. Yeah. Whereas I think Vooch has probably got 3 or 4 seasons left in him, playing at a decent level. So for those reasons, I would say Vooch edges it narrowly.
Yeah, you make great points, Neill. And I guess how sad is that for Embiid that he was an all defensive player and Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year back in college. All these different accolades, and then he's fallen. His fall off has just been so crazy. And to Vucevic's credit, I think he's had a block in 4 or 5 straight games. He's had it's pretty nuts. He had a clutch block last night.
Yeah.
So, good for him. Because I know before he went on this blocking spree, I think he had only had 8 blocks on the season. So, you know, at least I will say, like, we've been able to draw some effort out of him on that end. He's not very good defensively, and we all know that. I think his biggest problem is that he's just not he's giving up too many rebounds down low, and that those end up as putbacks. But I've seen Vooch lock in a little bit at times this season. So yeah, for that reason, I'm gonna still go Vucevic. Joel Embiid scored a bunch last night, but I feel like that was almost almost lucky. I don't know. Maybe that's wrong with me, but some of it was just like, dude, you barely got anything left in the tank, brother.
But a lot of it was right place at right time, and we didn't box him out. Do you know, he was literally just standing there, and he's just this great big oaf standing underneath the basket. And if the ball lands in his hands, we know he's capable of putting it in the bucket. I mean, that is one thing you have to credit Embiid with, is he can shoot the basketball. He knows how to score. It's the other end of the game, like the defense and like mobility, that's a real problem for him now. But if he's standing under the basket and you don't box him out properly, he'll cherry pick. Very true. Very true.
Shout out to Matt. Gutted?
Yes. Yeah. I'd be honest.
Yeah.
I believe you,
and
Matt.
then you see my comment straight under it, sarcasm. Yeah, he. Believe me, I can tell you, Matt is not a fan of Joel Embiid.
It's the worst MVP in recent times. You're gonna put that over Steve Nash? Everyone hates on the Steve Nash MVP because his stats.
That was a good one. I don't know. That's a whole nother topic.
Embiid's stats were definitely better, but I guess you have to go impact after that. I will say Philly's never been to the conference finals, and that's kind of an issue. And that's kind of my argument against tanking a lot. It's like, look, Philly tanked for like 5 years straight, and they have nothing to show for it. Sorry, I'll trade in Derrick Rose's MVP for a championship appearance, or a championship title. Love Derrick Rose. Would have traded it in for a title, just like without a question. So, so that brings me to Matt right here. He's got a question: trade or extend Kobe? That's a big one.
Who's going to take that one on?
That's a head scratcher. I mean, I'll go first since I'm the guest, but at this point, I would extend Kobe, mainly because the 2026 AK plan is not showing any promise at this point. If you look at the free agent class, everyone's re-signing now. They're doing the good old, I'm going to re-sign, then ask for a trade later method, as disgusting it is. But I get it. You got to get your pay to get your money in. But then other day, it's just some days. See, now I'm retracting, man. I don't know which side of the fence I'm on now. Because you see lineups where it's like, because say like our starting lineup, you have 3 non-defenders ish. We have Okoro and then Matas as a plus defender. Like, it's hard to build a backcourt with, I don't know, 2 non-defenders with Giddey and Kobe, right? But with Kobe, I forgot who's mentioning this. Is Kobe going to be in another Zach LaVine situation, right? Like, young scorer, showing a lot of promise, and then you're on this contract. Are we going to get sick of him by the end of the contract? Right? He's unrestricted. Let's not forget that. Shout out to the masterful plan of AK and Mark Eversley, whoever he is, because he's never around. But that's a whole other topic. Like, are you willing to throw a large enough bag at him? Because I believe there's a period in free agency where teams are allowed to work with their own free agents for like a 2 to 4 day period before they hit the open market with a regular free agency. Is AK and, well, I'm just going to say AK because, that's all we know, willing to give Kobe the 30, 5-year 30, 5-year 35 kind of a deal? Like, and are we going to be okay with it? Because being the highest paid player, that carries a lot of responsibility, right? And then that also affects Io, right? Do you pay Io? Like, you got to pay Io probably less than Kobe, but you got to pay him more than Patrick Williams. So that Kobe question is really tough. Like I can't even answer Matt's question anymore because it's you can go on both sides, right? If you trade Kobe now, there's no what value are you getting? You know, 2 young players that could play is young. Maybe 2 more players from the 2020 draft in that top 10. Give me 2 more of those guys. We already have Okoro. Yeah. We already have Jalen Smith, Patrick Williams. We need more. We need Killian Hayes. We need just give us more of those guys. You know, like I don't know. Neill, Phil, go for it. I'm so done with this already. I don't even know what to say. That's a tough one. It's a tough one.
Yeah, well, I see in the comments, Matt has already called me out for what I'm going to say, and he's not far off the truth, right? Yes, I would like to see something done for Kobe White, purely because I really think that Trey Jones is more than capable of filling in that gap right now. Trey Jones is playing out of his skin this season for the Chicago Bulls. He's turned out to be, hey, there he is. He's turned out to be a fantastic signing. How you doing, Troy?
What's up?
I'm good, boys. How we doing? Sorry for the late entrance.
No, you're okay. You're here just in time. We're rounding off, but we can ask you some of the questions rapid fire too. So
cool.
Go ahead, Neill.
Yeah, so I would like to see something get done with Kobe, but the problem is, right, what do you want to get for him? Like I say, I think Trey Jones can slot into that gap. So then I'd rather than trying to fill in the Kobe gap, I'd rather try and bolster the bench or bolster the team with some more like-minded defensive players so that we have more defense capabilities. And then, again, I think I'd like to go younger. The question is, what kind of players are out there that you could get, and who's interested in Kobe White right now? Because I think, apart from spells and the fact that Kobe is more than capable of putting up 22, 23 plus points in every game, I'm not enjoying Kobe White this season. I'll be honest with you, I'm not. And I know a lot of people love him, and I have a Kobe White jersey. I like him too, but I'm not enjoying his game this season. And I hate the heat check thing. Phil knows this. Troy knows this. I hate the heat check thing from Kobe. He done it again the other night. He shoots the ball from 3 when nobody else is with him. He's not even stepping up to the line. He's shooting 4 or 5 feet back from the line. Look, dude, wait till you get hot before you start throwing up those shots. Don't make that the first shot or shot 4, 5, 6 when you've already missed the previous 4 or 5 shots. It's doing my head in. And I know Kobe White comes into his own kind of January, February time, and he does play better in the back half of the season. But I would rather take a player that's only given me 16, 17 points for 82 games than a player who's going to give me 25, 30 points for 30 games.
Fair enough. Troy, man, how do you feel about this?
Well, I think I missed the original. Hang on, what is it? Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Would you trade or extend Kobe? Oh.
I mean, is Troy feeling okay just in general, man? Like you're on fire last in the chat.
Mate, trust me, I was feeling like dog shit yesterday during that game. But hey, nonetheless, I've recovered. I've moved on.
Had a bit of a fallout with your friend Jack, did you?
Oh.
No, Glenn Fittich. That's a whole nother story.
Glenn, fair enough.
Yeah, just a couple too many. But you know, it's all right. As far as trading, I know it is a tough question because, like, as Neill was saying, like, as much as Kobe is putting up career highs in points, he's not doing it overly efficiently. He's still trying to force the issue. He takes those dumbass heat check shots. I like Kobe, but I'm not liking really what I've seen so far this year. I'm like, it's almost like he's trying to force the issue too much to get himself back into rhythm. It's like just slow down, let the game come to you. Don't try and force it and overdo it. Just let the game flow. Just come naturally. If the shots come in the flow of the offense, absolutely go for it. But when you've made one shot and all of a sudden you decide, oh, it's heat check time, like, no, that shit just pisses me off. I don't care who it is. But it's trade. I know. I think it's hard to say trade or extend him. I'm gun to my head. I'm going to say trade him.
Okay.
See what value you can get back from him, because a player of Kobe's archetype, if you want to call it, used to use the 2K reference, he's replaceable. Whereas Io, for example, he's a Swiss Army knife. You need a guy like that on your team, especially once you're actually looking serious and trying to get back into the playoffs. You need a guy like Io on your team. Whereas Kobe, he's more replaceable. So if it's gun to my head, trade him.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, for all the reasons you guys said, I don't want to go back and forth, but yeah, I agree with all of that. I think that I would trade Kobe White at this point. I don't like exactly what I've seen this season either. I will say, I'll give him credit that like last night, like he was bad all night. He had like 2 points entering the fourth, and then again he did come in clutch. But with that being said, like I just don't think. I think like what you guys said, and especially what Troy said there at the end, I think he's replaceable. I think what if you gave Io his minutes, I think Io might score 5-7 less points a game, but or maybe even 10, but like he's going to also play much better defense. And I think that matters. I think we have the players on our team too. That's another thing. Like we had with Trey Jones and Io Dosumu, all of a sudden you're looking like, and even Kevin Herter, because you could play him at the 2. You're like, oh wait, we got the players to kind of backfill you, fill it by committee. I mean, the combination of Herter, Trey Jones, and Io, if they were to get the line share of the two guard minutes, and then I guess you might maybe that gets Julian Phillips. I'd like it to be him over P. Will or Dalen Terry personally off the bench, but it also depends on who you get back for Kobe White. I would like picks. But if you can get a defensive-minded big, then that would be amazing. That would be unbelievable. I would love that. So, and then at that point, I would like to maybe see maybe we start double big lineup, and then we move Matas to the 3 at the start for starters, and then you play a guy like Kevin Herter. We're starting a Coro. I mean, even him, like he's playing at the 3. He's probably better fit for the 2. So. For all those reasons, I think that it's time to trade Kobe White. I don't know if I'm comfortable with the contract we're going to give him, and it might become unmovable. So that's just my thoughts on that. So, Troy, before, first of all, Neill, do you have to lickety split or do you got a few minutes?
I can stay for another couple of minutes, but I will have to duck out soon.
Okay, fair enough. Troy, I'm going to try and fire through these real quick and just ask how you feel about them. How do you feel about if you had to give one attribute to Matas and Giddey to improve on? What would you give? What would you ask them to improve on?
Ball defense.
Defense?
Yeah,
fair enough.
Just for me, it's always going to be, regardless of what you can bring in other aspects, it's always going to be defense because I'm a defensive-minded person first. So. We know that Josh Giddey's not that bad defensively anymore. Matas is really good at blocking shots, but I still want that better. And that's, we're seeing Josh come along with a 3-point shot. We know he can get to the basket, passing the ball, rebounding, all sorts of stuff. So defense is always going to be a thing. And Matas, we know he's got the offensive skill. We know he can block shots, but staying in front of his man and all that sort of stuff, like that's something that needs improvement still. So if there's always a thing that's going to be, can we add this to a player? Defense.
Fair. How do you feel about the double big lineups Billy's been playing?
Love it. I know you just called it, like Phil, you just called it double big lineups, but back in, I know we've said it before, Neill, we've said it, but hey, going back in our day, that was just traditional basketball.
Yep.
So, to me, that's not a double big lineup. That's just basketball. So I love it, and it's working. So don't fix something that ain't broken. Keep running with it.
Fair enough. And I think you could probably answer this one real quick so we could sign off here. How do you feel about the DNPs for Dalen Terry, Julian Phillips, and Patrick Williams?
Their asses now to the bench. That's all I need to say.
Yeah, I figured you wouldn't need much wordplay to explain that one. But Troy, thank you for hopping on here at the end. For anyone who doesn't know, Troy hosts the Whole Lot of Bull podcast based out of Australia. He's a man. He's usually here with us as well on Bulls Without Borders. I think it's super early over there. It's like 8 a.m. for you right now.
8:30 in Adelaide.
8:30. I appreciate you, man. But all right, everybody. Sammady, thank you so much for being here. Do you want to give everyone your where they can find you?
I don't know at this point. Might be for my safety, maybe. No, it's just my first and last name at on Twitter. So SAMMADYYI. So I'll put that in the YouTube chat if anything.
It's in the
that's
YouTube
all it is. Yeah, but like you'll see my name being reposting all the content of all these lovely gentlemen here, and all the other content creators you see that does do and create Bulls content. So you'll eventually find my name somewhere. But thank you for you guys' time. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Sammady. All right, and obviously, at C-Red UK for Neill, at Whole Lot of Bull for Troy, and at Philip Charles IV, and that's an IV. At Philip Charles IV for me. But until next time, my friends, I know that I'll be live streaming on this channel later. Not sure if anyone will be with me, but I know that we will be back for sure with an episode on January 2nd. So can't wait to have you guys back for that. But until next time, see red, baby.
Oh, okay. See ya.
Neill.
He's just.
Oh, hang on.
He's just gone.
I automatically thought that was you that dropped that, Neill.
It's still recording, guys.